Good day traders, Stacey Burke from Stacey Burke Trading. Daily currency levels for the British pound crosses Monday, April 20th. Just looking at the economic calendar for the week ahead, we've already had President Trump speak this morning, evening time in the US. We've had the Reserve Bank of Australia Governor Lowe speaking as we speak right now. No other major news, that's tomorrow. No other major news tonight. Wednesday, nothing on the schedule. Thursday, we have European Flash Services PMI, German PMI, British Pound Flash Manufacturing, and unemployment claims and flash manufacturing in the US. Friday afternoon, we have retail sales on the British Pound. That's Perth time. And in the afternoon on Friday, also German business climate. So first up, we have the pound Aussie. And again, looking at our 4-hour chart, we're currently inside of a consolidation inside of the 97.50 and 9,500 box. We have stops below last week's swing low at the 95.60 level, and stops, of course, at the high of this week. Currently, that market has moved in a sideways consolidation. We could see that market move towards the lows and take out stops on the downside. We have an inside bar in our last 4-hour candle. So we have one push, two push, three pushes against the breakout short. And we'll just highlight this. Traders who may have shorted that engulfment on the 4-hour chart. If we can get this to open up. And obviously stops above those candles up top where traders have shorted the peak as well. So money on both sides currently in that consolidation. When we look at our 15-minute levels, we have traders who are already in the market short from today. We'll just tighten these up a bit. And stops obviously above these peaks. There's 3 entries that traders may have shorted this morning. That market could choose to stop hunt high first. I'll just fix this up. But obviously we have stops at the low of Friday where traders were long, and we also have stops at the low of the day. We're inside of the 50 and the 00 box. We could see this market stop hunt low 50 pips below to 95.50 for a reversal coming back towards the high of the day. Currently we see a 1 push, 2 push, 3 push into the high before selling off. This could be a peak formation that was at the high of Friday. This market could continue to trend down for the remainder of this session. We could see that market target the lows and come off the 00s for a continuation, and we may not see the market come back to these levels. Again, if that market was to stop on high and reverse, we could see them continue through the low of Friday. Up next, we have the pound Canadian. Again, similar, we have traders who were shorted the 4-hour chart on Friday, and that market has since gone into a consolidation. We could see that market continue to move through the lows of Friday evening towards breakout traders from last week's 4-hour session. Currently, that market's still above the 7,500 area, but it has consolidated underneath of that engulfment on the 4-hour chart below the 75.50 level. When we go to our 15-minute chart, we see the market has stopped hunted traders from Friday's shorts. We'll zoom this in a bit, and we see that the market has gone 1 push, 2 push, and consolidated, and possibly giving us an engulfment as we head into that close of towards the end of the Asian session. We have stops below breakout traders from this morning's Asian session at that 75.25 area. So this market could target that area and head towards Friday's low for a continuation of that move down. Again, if that was to break that boundary above 75.60, we could go after Friday's high. Next up, we have the pound Swiss. We see that market again on our 4-hour chart. That market has moved into a sideways consolidation after trending up. It made an attempt at breaking out last week, which formed a smaller time frame double top and a weak marginal false break. before consolidating again underneath of that peak formation. We're still sideways in a very tight range, pulling back beneath the highs of last 2 weeks ago at that 2100 level. When we go to our 15-minute chart, we can see that again that market has traded sideways around that 2100 level before selling off from above there on Friday's session. As we head into the end of Asia, that market has weekly rolled over. We're heading towards Friday's low. This market could break through that level, taking out stops not only at Friday's low, but again, if we zoom this in, we have stops from earlier in the week. We'll just readjust this box. We have stops below the lows of Thursday, as well as Friday's lows. If that area was to act as support, we could see them retest the high of the day. We'll bring this in again, sorry. Zoom that in. We could have them retest the high of the day and also the stops above Friday's sell-off at that 2110 area. Currently we're sideways, so until the market breaks one of these boundaries, we want to watch to see how it behaves. If it takes out Friday's low around the numbers, this could continue to move down, or we could see it find support for a retest back to the high of the day. Currently in a sideways range-bound market. Next up, our pound New Zealand. When we look at our 4-hour chart, we can see that there was a sell-off on Thursday, Friday from up high in that 2,000.1000 area, 2.1000 area. We have an engulfment on our 4-hour charts down low as we speak on that New Zealand 4-hour chart. So there are stops above last week's highs. We have stops above the high of this week. We currently have breakout traders who are in the market on our 4-hour charts with stops above the high of the week, and we have break-even stops from last week's breakout as well as below that, just below the 2,500 area, and also stops at the low of last week. This market has the potential to move right through that level for a measured move. Now on our 15-minute chart, we can see this morning that that market pinned to the downside right on the open before making one push, two push, three pushes into that 750 area before giving us a pin hammer and selling off into taking out the low of the day. And again, we now have profitable traders sitting with stops above this pin hammer from the this morning's Asian session. That market came down to double zeros, hitting it twice. We could see one more test of that before it may actually find some support around that 600 level to come back and stop hunt traders who were short from this morning's session. This market also, as you notice, has gone vertically straight down. That's possibly evidence of a stop hunt. If we do see one more push, we could see this market come up very strongly to retest that breakout traders from that 750 area. If this market was to pull back weekly and continue to roll through that 600 area, we could see that market do a measured move or at least a 50 pip extension on the current 600 level. Lastly, we have the British pound. Again, we had that running wedge last week, put in a peak formation before selling off and then retesting that 2500 area, finding resistance, and into this morning and Friday's session and this morning rolling off of that 2500 area. We do have stops below 2400, and obviously there's a big area for that potentially to move down to that 2250 area. On our 15-minute chart, we see how that Friday session traders who were long still sitting at break even or with their stops intact. That market went one push, two push, three pushes into the breakout from Friday's Asian session before rolling over at 2500 this morning and breaking down. We could see this market continue to move aggressively to stop hunt traders who were long on Friday. If the market was to pull back towards the high of the day first, stop hunting traders from Friday's US session and Asia, we could then see the market retest and roll down or continue to move down to stop hunt off the bottom and take a move back long towards the high of the day. Currently, we're inside of the range. Again, we want to see this market either break through a number box and retest and resume that downward movement, or continue its stop hunt aggressively down in one direction or the other to see how those number boxes hold up. And just in closing, traders, Bruce Lee, I fear not the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks once, but I fear the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times. Knowing is not enough, we must apply, and willing is not enough, we must do. Just a reminder to master one or two really simple setups, know every single nuance about them, keep getting better at them, learn how to master all the very basic elements of that. Keep it simple, scale it up in size as your results indicate. Have a great trading day, and may the markets go with you.
Hi traders, it's Stacey Burke from Stacey Burke Trading. If you haven't done so, please head over to my website at staceyburketrading.com. I create updates on almost a daily basis, and I would love for you to receive them. Just click on the blog. If you want to enter your name and your email address, I'll send you my free audio program, the 7-Step Daily Routine for High Performance Traders. This is essential knowledge for all traders in all markets, and this is for helping traders to master the market with discipline, confidence, and a winning mindset. I appreciate all your feedback and comments. As always, traders, stay disciplined, and may the markets go with you.